show them their love. You see, this is the thing, we're all wired up differently, and that's so important to have that balance. And that's, I think, one of the hardest things in life, is to have that balance in life of being too busy to provide, yet making time to be with them and enjoy the ride and smell the roses. And that's profound. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you know, I've seen a lot of marriages have a lot of tension just because of not misunderstandings, but lack of knowledge on how we're wired up different as men and women. You see, men will go out and they will go and work hard for all day, and they'll come back home tired, and all they want to do is sit down, have a beer, and watch TV. And then the wife will go, well, can you come and help me? And then the husband's offended because, well, don't you see already how much I love you? I've been at work all day, working my butt off, and I just want to rest now. Can't you just give me that? And the wife's like, well, you don't appreciate me because I've been doing the cooking, cleaning, washing, kids, blah, 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 blah. You have no idea what I've been going through, all the bills. And then maybe something wasn't done, one little thing, and then the husband gets angry, and then the wife says, well, you have no idea what I've done. And you just like, there's different levels, and then once the husband's rested, and then the wife wants, once the kids are put to bed, and the wife wants to relax. And then the husband comes and says, hey, honey, how you doing? You know what I mean? And it's just on two different levels. And there's such power in education. If we just understand that.
Nick, can I ask a personal question about your family?
Sure you can.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Do they have had struggles
around
having a brother with no limbs?
Definitely. I was actually the firstborn in my family. After me, I have a brother and a sister. I'm 24. My brother's 21. My sister's 18. And so all about 3 years apart. They have no birth defects. There are no traces of birth defects throughout our families. So this is just one of those things in life that happen. So actually growing up in school, surprise, surprise, I'm the center of attention. Out of all the school, I'm the only guy without arms and legs. And I had that attention, and once I actually started having the confidence of speaking with kids and playing with kids, as soon as I open my mouth, barriers go down because they realize I'm just like anybody else. I've just got no arms and no legs. And so what I did was I made a lot of friends quickly, and then my brother came into school, and everybody knew that my brother was Nick's brother. Everything was referred to Nick. And so I think my brother really sort of lost his identity. And that sort of happens with, younger siblings. Let's say you have a very, quote, successful leader of a child who's school captain, and everybody knows that person as the school captain's brother. And so you're going in their shadow. And that happens naturally. And so my parents' wisdom, when I was going into high school, I was out of primary school, obviously, and then my brother and sister didn't come to my high school. So they had that wisdom in doing that. So I was very thankful for my brother and sister who helped me physically as well, around the house every now and then when I was a child, and I always had their love and support. And they just knew me as Nick. I mean, they don't know anything different. This is who I am. I don't know anything different. And so, yeah. At the same time, a lot of people come up and say, oh, I just wish you could speak to my friend who became a quadriplegic or lost his legs or something like that. And I don't know anything different. And I tell people, I don't know your pain, I don't know how it feels to have legs, then lose them or something like that. And I told your kids today, or what I normally tell at high schools anyway, is that I don't know their pain. I don't know what they're going through, but I know how it feels to be lonely, and I know how it feels to have a broken heart. And I know what's pulled me through my broken heart and healed my heart. And so to give them that, just so they can apply it in their own life, it's powerful. So I take my hat off to parents who have kids with disabilities, especially mental disabilities. It's such a different ballgame. And they're my inspiration. A lot of people ask me, what is my inspiration? They're my inspiration, to see how they love that child and the purpose of that child, even though they can't speak, they can't think for themselves. They just bring perspective in your life just by a smile. They've done that for me. And just because of that, that's purpose in their life, in my eyes. And there's no mistakes in life, I don't believe. I believe all things come together for the good. And I've seen it in my life anyway. and all I can talk from is my own experience. So you could speak to my friend who became a quadriplegic or lost his legs or something like that, and I don't know anything different, and I tell people, I don't know your pain, you know. I don't know how it feels to have legs, then lose them, or something like that. And I told your kids today, or what I normally tell at high schools anyway, is that I don't know their pain, you know. I don't know what they're going through, but I know how it feels to be lonely, and I know how it feels to have a broken heart. And I know what's pulled me through my broken heart and healed my heart. And so to give them that, just so they can apply it in their own life, it's powerful. So I take my hat off to parents who have kids with disabilities, especially mental disabilities. It's such a different ball game. And they're my inspiration. A lot of people ask me, what is my inspiration? They're my inspiration, to see how they love that child and the purpose of that child, even though they can't speak, they can't think for themselves. They just bring perspective in your life just by a smile. They've done that for me. And just because of that, that's purpose in their life, in my eyes. And there's no mistakes in life, I don't believe. I believe all things come together for the good. And I've seen it in my life anyway. And all I can talk from is my own experience. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just been an absolute privilege and honour for our school to host Nick here today. It's been extremely powerful, as I think a lot of you are sort of experiencing the power of the message coming here from Nick. He's such a fantastic guy, he's extremely engaging, but just what he's given our boys and girls today, we just can't place a value on that. The majority of our students chose to hug Nick, and I wouldn't have been able to have predicted that before this visit. And one of the little boys went up and he said to Nick, "You're the man." Nick's response to him was, "I love you." As that little boy walked away, he said to his mate, he had a smile on his face, he said, "That's the first time," he said, "anyone's ever said they love me." Now, sometimes I think the message that Nick is giving, that little boy I'm sure has got parents and family that love him dearly. But sometimes as parents, we don't say it enough, and I think that might have been the situation. A girl came and said to me, "Mrs. McKinnon, you know, been a bit of a whinger, I reckon, and I'm not going to whinge anymore." So, Nick, on behalf of the Pottsville Beach School community, staff, parents and students, thank you very, very much. And it's just been a pleasure to share this tiny little part of your life, and it's been wonderful to be able to celebrate being different. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Debbie.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak into your life and share with you my story. I hope you've been challenged and inspired to never give up, and I believe that you have been touched. I'd love to hear from you. Write to me. Go on my website, attitudesaltitude.com. I enjoy reading so many people's testimonials on how my life has impacted theirs. So please write to me or email me. Also want you to know that there is a book coming and a series of DVDs. So be on the lookout for that. If you see me on the street face to face, make sure you come up and say hello, give me a hug. I'd love to meet you. Remember, there is always hope. Never give up.
I just love life. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, "How come you smile so much?" And I'm like, well, it's a long story.
The irrepressible Nicholas Vujicic.
The birth of a son with no arms or legs was a challenge they didn't want.
I really couldn't believe it. I just thought it was a bad dream. I thought I'd just wake up any minute and it's all over. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to take him home. And I didn't think I would be up to looking after him.
Certainly with time, you grow to accept him, to love him for what he is, the way he is.
Providing Nicholas with everything he needs is a constant struggle, a battle to find or design suitable equipment, a battle to find the money to pay for it all.
There wasn't really much of places or people that you can turn to help you.
So everything that we did with him was trial and error. We just had to take things one day at a time and just work through things, just me and him. Even the doctors couldn't help me much in that regard.
I'm saving up my pocket money for a computer at home.
He can't move as fast as he'd like, but Nicholas Vujicic is a whiz at computer games. This I realise